And here we go, episode 270. So, simple message to you today, and that is that little and often is better than never. Okay? What are you doing to get and keep customers? That is my question to you. If you are not happy with your private practice, if you want to have a better private practice, my question to you is, what are you doing currently? What have you done in the past to get more patients and to keep the patients that you've got, so encouraging them to come back? And either have something done or leave a review or recommend you to a friend. That's the core, the heart, the beating heart of any business. And I talk like this because I've done a lot of conferences and I was in a mastermind group for business owners, and you realize it doesn't matter what business you're in. And I think the problem with us as doctors, we think we're not in a business. Basically, we think we're medical people and it's kind of not a business, and we think it's kind of like not right to look at it like a business because it's medical and we've got to be ethical and we've got to be this and that. And I'm like, well, I mean, most businesses are ethical. They're not unethical. I mean, we're not talking about Pablo Escobar businesses here. We're talking about most people are decent people who are trying to help their fellow man and trying to make a business out of that. And that doesn't matter what you do. I think there's a concept, particularly around doctors, that businessmen and business are just trying to squeeze the last bit of money out and don't really care about people and just care about profits and stuff like that. But I don't think that's true. I think most people who run businesses are trying to help people, and when you get down to the core of what a business is or what a business owner must do, well, a business owner must get and keep customers. That is not to say it is not important to have a good thing that you do when you run a business. So whether you're selling cars or you're making cuddly toys, or you're a solicitor, or you're a life coach, or whatever you do, you've got to make sure that the thing that you do is good. So if you're a doctor, you've got to make sure that your clinical care is good and you look after people and you do the right thing and you're ethical, and the actual thing that you do is a good thing. So that is for sure important. But if you look at it like a business, the business has to get and keep customers. If the business isn't getting and keeping customers, it will die. It doesn't matter how good the thing that the business does is, it will die. If it's not got a stream of customers coming through, it will die. And so it is really important to think of, how do I get and keep customers, or patients if you like, for us. And a lot of doctors might be disappointed in how many new patients they get in the clinic. They might be disappointed about the private practice they do. It might be sporadic. It's just here and there. They have to rely on their NHS income because it's not a reliable source of income, and all these issues. And if you say to them, well, what are you doing to get and keep patients? What are you doing? And most of us are doing nothing. So why don't you just start by first of all thinking, what can I do to get patients? What can I do to keep patients? What can I do to improve the flow of patients through my clinic? And then start doing something. That's what I mean by little and often is better than never. So for example, someone you saw in clinic last week, you could give them a call. You might not feel comfortable giving a call. Fair enough. Send them a text. Get your secretary to give them a call. How are you doing? How's it going? Did you get the quote? Did you get the letter? How's your hip pain? How's your knee pain? You all right? Listen, if you want anything, you know where I am. Just, it's not selling. It's just keeping in touch. And, it's a bit like kind of doing one press up. If you think, oh, there's no point in doing one, it's not going to do anything. But if you do one every single day, and then maybe you start doing two, so that's what I mean about little often. Just getting in touch with people, just putting something on your social media, or on your Facebook, on your whatever it is, your Instagram, whatever your social media is. Just one thing. Hey, I had a clinic this afternoon and I saw this robin in the garden, or just saw a patient who's getting married next year and had the breast reduction and says it's the best thing she's ever done. This is what really makes the job worthwhile. Or I don't know, it doesn't really matter that much, but it's getting yourself out there, getting yourself in front of people so they know you exist, because at the moment they don't know you exist. You're sitting there thinking you're a great doctor, but they don't know you exist. And that's what it's about. It's about doing things, and you don't have to send an email out to 10,000 people. You don't have to send out an email out to your whole database. Just one email, one text, one post. These are things that are going to encourage people to come and see you, because they're going to think, oh, it popped up on my Instagram feed. Oh, but I've only got 5 followers. Who cares? Just get it on. You might get 6 followers. Just get it on. Oh, but that patient I saw, I don't want to be spammy. You're not spammy. You're just saying, how you doing? It's good to see you last week. These are things that are going to get and keep customers or patients. These are things, and you're not doing any of them, or at least most of us are not doing any of them. We're not doing anything. So as I say, you don't have to think, right, I'm going to do some massive advertising campaign. I'm going to put up an advert in the Telegraph. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. No. Just start by doing something, because you are doing nothing. Nothing. Admit it. You're doing nothing right now. So little and often is better than never. And it, I can tell you now, I'm saying you're doing nothing. The beauty is your colleagues are doing nothing either. So even if you do a little thing, it's better than what your colleagues are doing. So if you, for longevity, things on social media is good. The most sort of long-lasting social media challenge is YouTube. So if you can put a video on YouTube, that'll be the best. But if not, by all means, put it on your Instagram or your Facebook or wherever you want to put it, or your TikTok. But updating your website is good. Sending a message to a patient is good. If you so for longevity, those things are good. If you kind of a bit strapped, if you're a bit strapped for cash and you need cash, your patients who came to your clinic recently are the people you want to go to. So you want to start giving them a call, or getting secretary to give them a call, or send them a message. And as I say, you're not coercing them, just saying, did you get the info? You know, they're the most likely people who are going to give you money in the next few days or week, because you saw them in the clinic. And most of us, you know, you think you're being spammy, but I'd argue you're actually being, you're ignoring them. You know, if you're just sending them a clinic letter and don't ever hear from you again, that's not great, is it? If you think about it, it'd be quite nice for them to give you a ring, you know, for the secretary to give you a ring and say, did you get the letter? Everything okay? You know, that's actually good. So, you know, I'd argue actually you're being bad at the moment by not contacting and keeping in touch with the patients you've recently seen in the clinic. So it's just do something. That's the message. That's all I'm trying to get to. We can talk about the nubbins of what you do, but just do something, for goodness sake, because don't complain that your practice isn't busy and you're not got many patients and it's a bit sporadic and you haven't got control over it. If you're not doing anything, you know, get out there, do something, for goodness sake. Pull your finger out. Come on, think about it. Think about it. They're not just going to come. You have to say, you have to speak. Hello, saw you last week. How are you getting on? Hello, I do knee replacements in, you know, Newcastle Hospital on a Wednesday afternoon. If you've got a problem with your knee, make a clinic appointment to see me. Love to see you. Got a one-stop shop where we do everything. We'll do the x-rays, do everything in one go. Even better if you can start getting into that. But let's not run before you can walk. Just say, this is what I do. So come on, think about it. Yes, you're good at doing the business. You're building a business, but the business runs on patients coming into the business. Encourage them to come, and encourage them to come back once they've been, and encourage them to write a review, and encourage them to recommend you to a friend. Do something. Little and often is better than never. Got it? Good. See you next week.